Mithali Raj, thank you so much for taking the time out to speak to me. This is the year that you actually complete 23 years in international cricket. That's going to be the longest for an Indian cricketer, male or female. So that's a good time to have a biopic coming out, almost to give, all your fans a revision of the amazing career that you had.
The storyline is inspired on my life as a women cricketer from the time where, we've traveled in unreserved train journeys to traveling in business class. The growth and evolution of women's cricket from the time I've started to where it is today. And all of us are really excited and looking forward to the movie.
The script that you wrote for yourself in your own international career is one not many people could even write. A century on ODI debut at the age of 16. Do you remember that day, Mithali? I mean, do you remember anything special from that day? Maybe a mandir you stopped on the way or a conversation you had with your parents?
Sometimes I actually wonder, had social media been when I scored that as a 16-year-old, probably there would be a lot more that I would remember. When I played that game, hardly there was anybody who would know that, okay, women's cricket is playing a game. A 16-year-old has made a debut and scored 100 on her debut. So, for me, it was more of the lightness that I felt over my shoulders, the sort of expectation I carried. Because coming from Hyderabad, a lot of people thought, okay, she's going to replicate what Azharuddin did. He scored triple hundreds on his debut. So 100 back to back. And there was okay, you're also from the same city, so we can expect you to score that. So there was a huge expectation on those tender shoulders as a 16-year-old. So I think when I scored 100, it was just that feel-good factor of the lightness I felt of those expectations. I probably remember only that.
22 years of international cricket, there are bound to be some lows as well. I mean, you do anything for that long a stretch of time, there are going to be major highs, some lows as well. Any part of your career that you feel was a great learning experience for you?
Yes, I think 2008 to 2012, the three years or 4 years where in 2008 when I was sacked as a captain, and then I was brought back as vice captain in 2011-12. So those 3-4 years gave me a lot of clarity, because when I became a captain for the first time, I was very young in 2005. So I didn't have the expertise or the experience of leading even, say, a domestic team for long. I was very, very new to leadership. So the first 4-5 years, I was just trying to find my ground as a captain. But when I was sacked, and they gave me a lot more to think about, and I thought, if I get a chance again, the honor of leading the team, I would do a lot of things very different. I guess when I became the captain again in 2012, and the 2013 World Cup was a huge disappointment, I must say, because it was held in India and we didn't even qualify for the Super 6. Again, that year really gave me a lot of, thought process went into how do I do things very differently to see what I've done before. I make things in a way that it impacts women's cricket and in a very positive manner, so that we have the growth in our team. So I think that is the phase which really helped me to sort of clear a lot of things in my mind. And I guess since then it's been really good for women's cricket. And as a captain, I have grown. I still do mistakes. People think I don't. I still learn from my mistakes. It's part of who we are. But I guess I've thoroughly enjoyed my journey also as a captain and as a player.
Was there any mentor that you had, any player that you did look up to, who's had an impact on your career?
For me, the role models I've always, growing up, of course, I looked up to Sachin as someone, as a batter that I looked up to. But when it came to inspiration, I've looked up to my mom, my dance teacher, because everyone have a sort of a unique trait in them that inspires a young kid. Like my dance teacher, she was very independent way back. She would drive a Scorpio in the 90s. That was for me as a young one to look at my dance teacher, very independent. So I wanted to be a very independent woman growing up. So I used to look up to her for inspiration.
That's something lovely to hear. But just going back to your career as such, 7,391 runs in 220 ODI matches. You, of course, are the record holder for the most runs by a woman in international ODI cricket. You're also the only Indian captain, male or female, to guide an Indian cricket team to two ODI World Cup finals. We, of course, know there's a third one coming up, just in a couple
So I
of
would like
months.
to change that to
That's what I was
the
gonna
woman cricketer to winning the World Cup. Yeah. Well, that is the aim. That's the goal, and that is what me and the team are looking at, working, preparing since the last couple of years. And that's let's hope that it works well for India and we do really well in the World Cup.